Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. I'm so happy to be here today. I welcome each and every one of you guys to this meeting. If you can actually hear me, please let me see your comments in this. Let me see your comments. Actually hear me. Let me see your comments in this comment section. So this is the episode 3 of our trade XAUUSD like a pro. This is the episode 3, and today we are going to a lot of today as well as usual. We're going to be unveiling a lot of uh, we're going to be unveiling a lot of new things, a lot of new opportunities, better way to look at the market. Yeah, using our proven to work strategy, using our strategy that works, right? So I hope you actually stay to the end of this video. If you're on this call, please let me see your comment if you can actually hear me. I want to be very, very sure that my audio is okay before I proceed. Please, I want to be sure that my audio is okay, guys, before I proceed. So please do me the favor of actually commenting. Let me see and giving me the update. Is my audio okay, guys? Can you guys hear me? Please, I need that feedback from you guys before I actually proceed. I need that feedback from you. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me, please? Okay, yeah, we can. Thank you very much, Sam Tuga. Thank you very much. I've been waiting for that. Okay, you can hear clearly. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so currently we have 4 people on the call. Please do me the favor of actually liking this YouTube video and able to click that like button so YouTube recommend it to more people, right? And we are going to be reviewing all of our trades last week, and we're going to be learning from them, right? As well, cooking up our setup for this week and looking at the amazing opportunities that XAUUSD has to offer, gold has to offer for us this new week, right? And looking at the momentum and the volatility we've been having in trading, that's actually giving us the idea that what we can always get set up every day as a day trader, right? If we are calm enough, we can always get set up every blessed day, right? So if you're on this call and you want to like this video, so YouTube recommend it to more people. So let's get straight to business, guys. Let's get straight to business. This was the trade we took on Friday. This buy right here was our last trade for the week. This was the buy we took on Friday, and I want to get your feedback regarding this buy as well. We're able to get 300 pips from this buy, and this buy we used it in recovering some of our. We also had a profitable week, right? We had some 300 pips. We had at least two. We took 300 pips profit at least twice, except this Friday on Friday as well we had 300 pips, but on Thursday we had some drawdowns on Thursday, so we were able to recover with this buy setup right here. But this is November, so meaning that we have a lot of opportunity coming up, and we are going to be when it's getting close to the end of the year, we tend to see a lot of different reactions in the market, right? We tend to see different reactions, even though the volume might be quite reduced, but this time around we are getting some high number of volatility in the market. If you're on this call and you want to like this video, please, so YouTube recommend it to more people. So what are we basically looking at on gold? What are we looking at on gold? What's our view on gold? What are we looking at on gold? Right? Where is gold heading? That's the main thing. Where is gold heading? And in this, just like the name of this live section implies, trade XAUUSD like a pro. So this is the episode 3. This is the episode 3 of episode 3 of Trade XAUUSD like a pro, and I'm going to be unveiling a lot of opportunities for us, right? I'm going to be unveiling how I look at the market, and now you can as well benefit from it. How you can also look at the market and benefit from it. So these were some of the significant trade we had last week. This was the massive sale. We had this buy as well. We had this buy and move as well. This buy, our entry was too early for this buy. Our entry was too early for this buy, but this buy also moved. So we're able to get this other buy to uh we're able to get this other buy that we had this loss right here. right? And we had this profit on Friday. We had this profit on Friday. But cutting all the long story short, let me try to like reduce all of this. We are no longer bothered by that past results, right? We are basically looking at what the markets, the opportunity the markets has for us this week. If you're on this live call, endeavor to like this video or like this live section so YouTube recommend it to more people, right? So what is gold doing basically? What is gold doing? Looking at this chart as a freshman, looking at this chart as a freshman, you'll be quite uh disturbed. You'll be quite disturbed by the number of how this thing is just going up, coming down. Like it tends to look like in general it's ranging, right? But I can tell you it is, even though it's not trending massively in a particular direction, gold is still very, very much straightforward than most peers. If you take your time to study gold, which is XAUUSD, it is quite more straightforward than other peers. Sincerely speaking, gold is quite more straightforward than other peers, and it is actually very, very, very simple to trade, right? It just depends on where your state of mind is, and if you try to like pay more attention into it. And due to the volatility that is in gold, that gold gives, that is one of the things that actually like draw in ma- majority of people interest into trading gold. Because imagine if you can get 400 pips on gold, if you can get 400 pips on gold within 20 minutes or 10 minutes, so why should you be bothered about trading pairs that will give you 500 pips after about 20 days or 50 days? Even though all pairs actually are actually very, very, it is good to trade all pairs, right? It is good to trade all pairs, but at the same time, you basically just need to do whatever fits you, whatever suits your trading style, right? Whatever suits your trading style. So whether you trade a particular pair or don't trade a particular pair, it doesn't matter. And this strategy as well works on all peers. It works on all peers. So, what is that basic strategy and how do we look at the market? Just like I've always looked at the markets using pure price action, which is understanding the interaction between the buyers and the sellers, right? Which is market structure as well. Market structure. And if you discovered after that massive buy we had on gold on Friday, there was this spike that happened to the downside where the sellers came into the market, which is right here, where the sellers came into the market and they tried to push price lower. But this was as a result of a news that came up, right? This was as a result of news that came up. But as a freshman trading gold, you'll be like, if something can just spike like this without giving some kind of like indications or giving some kind of spike, I think trading gold is quite scary. Trading gold is this, trading gold is that. All of those ideologies. Trading up here is scary, literally. But it's just the matter of the volatility in gold, right? It's just the volatility in gold that actually scares people off, and that is one thing that actually attracts more people into trading gold as well. But I can tell you gold is a very, very interesting pair to trade, and it's very, very easy to trade if you take your time to master it perfectly, right? If you take your time to master it perfectly. And just like businesses won't always be in profit, you can't always trade a pair and always be in profit as well. There will be days where you actually take losses because we are humans, right? There will be days when you actually take losses, whether due to impatience, due to not waiting for your entry confirmation, due to not waiting for your confluence to actually align and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the goal is to what? The goal is to remain profitable at the end of the day. So there's something I'll try as much as possible to buttress about today as well, being the episode 3 of this live section, which is about entry confirmation. After drawing up all your analysis, and I think that's one of the main issue with most people, and I've gotten a lot of questions regarding that as well, which is entry confirmation. How do you confirm when your entry is actually okay and when you're actually good enough to enter into the chart to buy or to sell after getting all your indications, after getting all your signs after getting some break of zones or some retest at some particular support and resistance level? How do you exactly get your entry? Now, let's analyze this chart from the beginning to the end and let us draw up our analysis for tomorrow. And I will actually be giving you what we make our entry valid for any setup that we're able to draw up from this live call, right? So we will work on the entry confirmation. So I want to know if you're actually happy about that. Let me hear you guys in the comment section. Let's interact, right? Let's interact. Just like if we've always started, anytime we do our analysis, which is pure price action, we tend to look at the market, the overview of the market, starting from top-down analysis, right? Starting from the higher time frame, using it to explain where the trend is actually heading. And just like I will always say and repeat, just like I will always say and repeat, even if you are trading with $5 million, you don't have the power to. Even if you are trading with $5 million, you don't have the power to move the market, right? Do you guys agree with that? Even if you are trading with $5 million, your money is not enough to move the market. Do you guys agree with that? So if you agree with the fact that even if you are trading with $5 million, you don't have enough power to say market to buy and market will eventually start buying. Your money is not enough to move the market, right? Exactly. I'm saying yes. Thank you. I'm actually happy that you guys are active. I want us to gain some value tonight, right? So even if you are trading with $5 million or $10 million, your $10 million is not enough to move the market into for the market to start buying or selling, or because you said market should buy and I'm trading with $10 million, market have to start buying immediately. It's definitely what not possible. It is not possible. So what does a $10 million trader have to do that we ourselves as either $1,000, 5,000, $10,000 trader have to also align with? Right? What do we have to do to also align with? We basically have to be able to do what? Identify the trend in which these big boys in the market, I call them the big boys in the market, identify the trend in which these big boys in the market are actually heading. Identifying the trend in which these big boys in the market are actually what? They are actually heading, and be able to like follow through with them, right? And be able to like follow suit. So that is the main reason. Even if you are trading with $10 million, you still have to think like somebody trading with $20, which is having the psychology that what? Having the psychology that your money is not enough to move the market, but you need to be able to understand the trend of the market and be able to trade in line with the trend of the market. Do you understand? So that is automatically rendering you powerless, but at the same time giving you benefits, a lot of benefits over somebody trading with $20, right? But you also need to be able to do what? Identify the trend of the market. You also need to be able to trade. If somebody trading with $10 million have to be able to identify and trade in line with the trend of the market. Who the hell are you as a 20, 50, $1,000 trader trying to like change the trend of the market? First a buying chart to start selling. Who are you? To force a buying chart to start selling and stuff like that. So we as traders, as retail traders, just like I was explaining to a friend of mine who recently started trading, that we as traders, we are basically retail traders. We need to be able to follow what the big boys are doing, what the people with the big money that are actually moving the market are actually doing, the economy effects, right? We need to be able to follow in line with the trend of the market always. We need to be able to do what? Follow the trend of the market always. And just like you can see right here under my chart, I have something that I put right here, which is what? Go with the flow. You need to be able to go with the flow, right? Every single time when you trade, you need to be able to go with the flow, understand where the big boys in the market are, understand their resting zones, where they are actually resting their positions, which can be identified with what? Your support and resistance. And trend line as well. Trend line right here also act as what? As support and resistance levels, right? Trend line also act as what? As support and resistance levels. So we as retail traders need to always trade in line with the trend of the market. We need to always trade in line with the trend of the market. So having that at the back of our mind, we automatically what? Increase our winning rate. It will automatically increase our winning rate. And that's the thing about trading. There's no trader that doesn't take a loss, but at the end of the day, is your win are your wins covering your losses? That is what makes a trader. That is what a trader definitely just need to be able to like to do what? To keep a balance between. Now, looking at the daily time frame, what is basically happening? Let's get straight to practicals now. What's basically happening? Looking at the daily time frame, we can see that gold had a massive bull run since the 1st of September. Literally, it had a massive bull run. And what happened? We are seeing some pullbacks right now. We're seeing some, whether I'll call it corrections or whatever, but we're seeing some massive sales happening right now on gold, right? We're seeing some massive sales happening right now on gold. But where is the trend actually heading? That's what we are going to be breaking down together. You go down to your 4 hours time frame, just like I told you. top down analysis, right? You go down to your 4 hours time frame and try to like understand the trend, understand the interaction between the buyers and the sellers. Where are they resting their positions? Who is more in control? Who is taking control? Who is more in control? Who owns more power? Is it the buyer or the seller? Who has more money? Is it the buyers or the sellers? Right? That's what you need to be able to ask yourself before deciding on whether to buy or to sell. Now, looking at the higher time frame, I love to use my from experience. People tend to understand more using this part to like explain. We had this major resistance right here. There was some correction. We had this massive push put to the top side. The buyers couldn't break above this level, so they created an equal high at this level, right? And there was some kind of massive pull to the downside. This was the impulsive move to the downside. This was what correction. We got another impulsive move to the downside, and what is happening right now? We are seeing some correction. A correction happened at this level. The sellers were supposed to give us a new lower low, but they failed to give us the new lower low. Now, what is basically happening? They failed to give us a new lower low, and we had this new lower high, right? Market gave us some kind of equal low. If you see right here, market gave us an equal high as well, right here, right? Looking at this equal high, and equal high definitely means what? Is signifying, is basically giving indications, it's basically giving signs for some what? Some massive pull to the downside. Equal after this kind of equal highs, it's basically giving signs for what? Some massive pull to the downside. But what will happen if gold definitely fails to give us a new lower low? If gold fails to give us a new lower low, then that basically means that what? We are going to be seeing some massive buy. But looking at this higher time frame, what can we establish from this higher time frame? I need that in the comment section. What can we establish from the higher time frame? Who is more in control in the higher time frame? I need you guys comment on that. If you are still on this call, endeavor to like this video so YouTube recommend it to more people. Looking at this, looking at this part analysis, who is more in control? Who is currently in control of the market? I need you guys answer on that. I want to know if you are actually on the same page, right? Who is more in control? Is it the buyers or the sellers? Okay, I'm seeing answer from Murphy. I need answer from some other people as well. I'm seeing answer from Murphy. Who is more in control? The sellers, but it's fading. Exactly. Enam is saying the sellers are in control, but their power is actually failing. Okay, Sam Tuga is also saying the sellers. Exactly. Exactly, guys. The sellers are in control, but they are what? They are actually fading, right? Because they are losing their momentum. They are unable to give us a new lower low. So it's automatically, but at the same time, they are not still failing yet until we've been able to establish a perfect break up above this level. But the fact that they've not been able to give us a new lower low, the fact that they've not been able to give us a new lower low means that what? Their power is reducing. Their power is reducing because they couldn't give us a new lower low, right? Because they couldn't give us a new lower low. Sharp, Pro Trader, Brand, I see you guys. So the sellers are actually still in control. Looking at this double top right here, right? This is a double top. So the sellers are actually still more in control. But now, what is going to happen? Anything that makes us get a break of this level, gold is going to be buying massively. Anything that gives us a break up above that level, gold is going to be buying massively. But now, on the 4 hours time frame, I've been able to use my part to establish what? The interaction between these buyers and sellers, right? And what we actually need to be doing to do what? To look forward to. What we need to look forward to. Now, let's remove this part. What else do we need to do on the higher time frame? What else do you need to do on the higher time frame? After understanding the trend and establishing who is currently more in control in the market, what else do we need to do? Right? What else do we need to do? We are doing our top-down analysis, right? And we're actually following pure price action and market structure, right? What else do we need to do? We basically need to mark out our zones, our major zones on the higher time frame. We need to mark out our major zones on the higher time frame. We have this significant resistance level resting here as well. We have this significant resistance level resting here as well, right? We have this significant resistance level resting here. So any buy we get up above this level, we are going to be having this level as our target, right? Are you guys following? We're going to be having this level as our target. I hope we're on the same page. Mark our zones. Exactly. Murphy. We have to mark our zones. That's the next thing. That's the next thing. We need to be able to do what? Mark our zones. Mark out our zones. We need to mark out our zones, right? Now we've been able to mark out this recent zone, the recent zones, right? We have this level right here as well. We have this level right here. Now these are the major zones that we can see on the 4 hours time frame. What else do we need to do? Basically, need to go down to a lower time frame, right? Which is the 1 hour time frame. Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page, guys? We've been able to mark out our zones, right? We understand the trend now. We have the basic understanding of the trend, that the trend of the market is still what? Currently strongly bearish, right? But the sellers are actually losing their momentum because they failed to give us what? A new lower low. They failed to give us a new lower low, so they are losing their power. They are losing their momentum gradually. They are losing their momentum gradually. But the fact that they are losing their momentum doesn't mean that we'll just start pushing for the buys. No, until we get a clear structure, until market gives us a clear print that what the sellers have actually lost their power. They no longer have enough money to keep to do what? To keep pushing markets lower. They no longer have enough money to keep pushing markets lower. So now what is actually happening? They've given us an indication that what they failed to give us a new lower low. But looking at this double top that we have right here, looking at this double top that we have right here, the chances are high that the sellers are still going to try to push the market down. But if they fail to give us a new lower low and they give us a new lower high right here, and they continue like this, and they come back into this zone, the chances are high that what gold is definitely going to break this level, give us a retest, or probably some kind of fake breakout back into that zone. Something like this is going to happen. Then we're going to be having a buy, and we're going to be targeting this significant high right here. Do you guys understand that? So that's the basic thing on gold. But now, before going deep into that, this is the 4 hours time frame. We've been able to mark out our zones on the 4 hours time frame. We understand our trend. We've been able to mark out our zones on the 4 hours time frame. What else do we need to do? Go down to the lower time frame, right? Now we are currently here on the 1 hour time frame, right? We are currently here on the 1 hour time frame. And what do we need to do? What do we need to do on the 1 hour time frame? I want to hear your opinion, guys. I want to hear from you guys. What else do we need to do on the 1 hour time frame? What do we need to do on the 1 hour time frame? These zones are still very, very significant on the 1 hour time frame, right? This zone is still very, very significant on the 1 hour time frame. See, the 1 hour time frame even make everything more clear. Let me try to adjust this to the downside. The 1 hour time frame made everything even clearer, right? The 1 hour time frame made everything even clearer. Now let's interpret this 1 hour time frame using our path to do our analysis, right? Why this major resistance of this level, market created some kind of double top right here. There was some kind of hesitation, market created a new lower high, right? There was some spike, some mini lower high, right? Correction, a new high right here. Market created a new higher low, right? It created an equal high. There was some correction. There was this massive break up to this level, and now we are seeing this happening. Now, what is basically happening on gold? What are we basically projecting on gold? Looking at all this analysis, what are we basically projecting on gold? We've been able to mark out our zones, right? What reaction are we expecting to see at these marked out zones? I'll basically still go to the 15 minutes time frame for you guys. So we look at the market in real time. We look at the market on the lower time frame as well, so that we'll be able to draw up our prediction, right? So that we'll be able to draw up our analysis and what our projection and what we're actually looking at, right? Are we together? So on the 1 hour time frame, we have this mini zone as well right here. There was some kind of like neckline of a W pattern right here. Let me try to reduce the opacity of this. Okay, I think that's enough. We have this right here as well. So we basically need to be trading off these zones, right? Basically need to be trading off these zones. Looking at gold currently, looking at gold currently, two things can happen right here as well. Looking at gold currently, there are two things that can basically happen, right? There are two things that can basically happen. Looking at gold currently, we either let me go down to the 30 minutes time frame. Let me go down to the 30 minutes time frame. So looking at gold currently, and the highs that have actually been established, right? And the highs that have actually been established, there was this massive push that came down. Gold was finding it hard. Can you see what happened right here, guys? Can you see what happened right here? Gold created a W pattern right here. It created a W pattern right here. on the 30 minutes time frame. It created a W pattern right here. Market couldn't sustain that push to the top side. The sellers came back in, and now they are retesting this neckline inversely, right? They are retesting this neckline inversely. So it's possible for us to start seeing some what? Some massive shells, some massive sales, but the sellers are actually weakening as well. So we need to always have that at the back of our mind that the sellers are what? They are weakening. They don't have enough power to keep pushing the market lower. The sellers don't have enough power to keep pushing the market lower due to what the printer that we've actually seen. And what makes what? How do we identify a change of structure? How do we identify a change of structure, guys? Inverse neckline perfection. Exactly, man. So how do we identify a change of structure? How do we identify when market is changing its structure? How do we identify when market is changing its structure? Very, very simple, right? We have this kind of trend. Market is going to the top side, right? Some corrections, some impulsive move. Now, if markets fail to give you a new lower high, now, market corrected. If market fails to give you a new higher high, right? For an uptrend to continue, market has to keep creating what? Series of higher highs and higher lows, right? For an uptrend to basically continue, market has to keep printing series of higher highs and higher lows. But what's happened when it fails to give us a new higher high at this level? And instead of giving us a new higher high, it created a new lower high. Now, automatically, this is showing us that what? If market rejects like this is automatically showing us that what? The buyers are losing their momentum and the sellers are trying to get back in the market. Why? Because the market failed to, the buyers failed to give us a new higher high and they corrected. After correcting, they failed to give us a new lower high as well and they created what? A new low that is lower than the previous low. So automatically, this is signaling that what? These buyers are losing their momentum and the sellers are trying to get into the market. But that single indication is not enough. That single move is not enough reason to that is not enough reason to automatically say what? That the sellers are into the market until we start getting some new lower highs and lower lows as well. Until we start seeing something like this. Now, when market start creating like this, something like this, automatically we know that what? Market has changed its trend from being bullish into being what? Bearish. Exactly. When a lower low couldn't be formed in bearish and higher high in bullish. Exactly. That's automatically signaling that what? The market is changing its trend. That is automatically signaling that the market is changing its trend, right? When market breaks a current trend. Exactly. That's also a signal. But we need to be able to establish a new clear structure in order not to trade with what? In order not to trade with 50%, in order not to trade with 50% assurance, we need to get more odds on our side, right? So this is automatically signaling what? A change of trend, right? So the same structure we actually have in right here. Market failed to give us a new lower low on the higher time frame and it's automatically giving us what? Series of highs, even though the buyers are not fully in the market because they couldn't give us what? A new higher high up above the major zone highs that we have on the higher time frame. Now, what are we basically expecting on gold? To be honest with you guys, on gold, we need to be very, very patient to see a clear structure within these zones. And what are those zones we need to see a clear structure of? For the buys to continue, we need to see a break of this zone right here. If we see a break of this zone, we can make decision of this zone. Why? Because market has started to print series of higher highs and lower highs already in the past. It has started to print series of higher highs and higher lows, right? So now, if we get a break of this major zone, of this major resistance level, gold is definitely going to make it what? Turn that resistance level into a support for some push to the top side. And we're going to be targeting this significant high first. I don't know if we're on the same page. Are we on the same page, guys? We're going to be targeting that significant high first. We're going to be targeting that significant high first. And I hope you guys haven't forgotten we have NFP coming up on Friday. We have NFP coming up on Friday, non-farm payroll coming up on Friday. So we'll be trading NFP live together, guys. We'll be trading NFP live together. So endeavor to stay tuned on Friday, get your accounts ready, and let's do some flipping, right? Godspeed always, right? So basically on gold, the sellers are losing their momentum and the buyers are trying to get into the market, but the buyers don't have enough money to push the market to the top side yet, right? Until we get this clear break up above this level and a retest happen at this level, that's when we are going to be anticipating and we're going to be joining the buy, right? That's when we're going to be getting in for the buys, right? Now, what is happening right here? What is happening within this zone? And you know, the best way to trade, you don't want to be trading in between the room. You want to be trading either from the floor or from the ceiling. And the floor in trading is regarded as what? The support level, and the ceiling is regarded as what? The resistance. So you need to be trading from either your support level or your resistance level. So which support level do we have to get on buys, and which resistance level do we need to get on sales right now? Simple clear structure, right? On the 1 hour time frame, gold broke this level, right? Gold still find after this W pattern right here. Two things can happen after this W pattern right here. Gold failed to break above this level, up above this level, and what happened? The sellers go back into the market, right, and gave this impulsive move to the downside that broke these two lower highs, that broke these two higher lows rather, that broke these two higher lows. This strong momentum candlestick that broke these two higher lows. So it's possible for us to be seeing some kind of rejection using our inverse neckline strategy. Some correction happen up to this level, right? Some correction happen up to this level, and if we get sell momentum from that level, if we get some sales indication from that level, either see some kind of double top, M pattern, your shooting star at that level, giving proper indication, then we might be looking for what? For sales back into this zone right here. I don't know if that is actually clear, guys. Is that actually clear, guys? Do we understand that? Do we understand the simple analysis now? Do we understand the simple analysis? I want to know if you guys actually understand this analysis, guys. Do you understand this analysis? Looking at what has happened right here, we have this mini W pattern neckline right here, right? We have this mini W pattern neckline. We have this mini W pattern neckline right here. We have this mini W pattern neckline right here. And why is it possible for us to start seeing some sell momentum pushing in? Why is it possible for us to start seeing some sell momentum pushing in? Just very simple explanation. Market was giving indication for the buys, right? Market created a W pattern right here. I hope you guys can see this W pattern. Market created a W pattern right here, right? Now a retest was happening at this level, and that retest was expected to what? To push price higher. But what happened? The buyers couldn't sustain that move. They couldn't get enough push up above that level. And what happened? The sellers came in with strong momentum from the news that came out, right? And after the sellers came in, what happened? Some kind of corrections are happening right here. So it's possible for us to start seeing the correction. This is the first touch happening right here. This candlestick that is forming right here after market open can come back into this zone. Anything that makes us get a shooting star or some kind of bearish Marubusu candlestick, some indication, some sell indications from this level. You know how we get our sales, right? Some sell indications and our sell entry confirmations in this zone. We can be looking for opportunity to sell using inverse neckline strategy, which was a strategy that I actually developed for you guys, right? Which is a strategy that we do use sometimes, right? I hope we're actually on the same page. Is that straightforward enough? I want to know if you guys actually understand that concept. So market was expected to retest this W pattern neckline. Market was expected to retest it to give us some continuous, to give us the momentum for the push up above this level, right? But what happened instead? Market couldn't sustain it, and the sellers came in with the news that came with the news that gave power into that gave strong strength for US dollar. And you know, anytime there's strength for US dollar, what happened? Gold falls. All other pairs falls as well. Any pair you are trading against the US dollar falls. But anything that makes us get a break up above this level, anything that makes us get a break up above this level, just like I told you guys, we're going to be getting a retest and what? Some buy continuations. So this is my basic view for XAUUSD this week. This is my basic view for XAUUSD. This is my basic view for XAUUSD. So, but let's watch out for this sell, given the momentum that is actually happening at the moment. Let's watch out for this sell. Let's watch out for this sell and see what actually happens, right? Let's watch out for this sell and see what actually happens, right? I hope you guys understand that. Let's watch out for this sell and see what actually happens. Let's watch out for this sell and see what actually happens. Right? Let me reduce this opacity. This is quite too strong. So let's watch out for this sell and see what actually happens. Right? I hope you guys understand that. I hope you guys understand that. So which other pair? I hope you understand every. I hope you understand this analysis on XAUUSD. I hope you guys actually let me hear your view on this XAUUSD analysis. Is everything clear? Do you guys understand this XAUUSD analysis? Were you able to gain something meaningful from this analysis? Please, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from you guys. And which other currency pair do you want us to look into before we go off? Which other currency pair? Let's analyze two more. Let's analyze. Okay, Enam is saying clear, sharp, sharp, sharp. So the analysis, somebody is saying the analysis is clear, but I want to hear from you all. I want to hear from you guys as well. I want to hear from some other. I want to hear from the other people as well. I want to hear from you guys as well. Somebody saying Enam is saying BTC USD has been flying. BTC USD has been flying. I actually have a swing trade analysis on BTC, but that's still cooking. It's still cooking at the moment. Let's do that. Okay, okay. Ola Yaoriyemi saying understand. Ola Yaoriyemi saying he understands everything we've done so far. Okay. So sharp, sharp, sharp guys. Sharp guys. So which other currency pair do you want us to analyze before we go off? Which other currency pair do you want us to look into before we go off? Bro give me some decent profit overnight. Is it give should I give you or I gave you already? And I'm saying I gave him some decent profit too. And am I saying I should give you or I gave or I've given you already? We've actually been doing good on Telegram. So if you are not on Telegram and you want to join the Telegram channel, non-star forex, let's do wonders together. So Enam is Murphy saying we should analyze Nasdaq. Murphy saying we should analyze Nasdaq. I don't know what's happening, but this thing's actually showing that only one person is active. But I think that's actually very, very wrong because the comment section keep buzzing every time. Okay, so Murphy and Enam are actually saying Nasdaq. Murphy and Enam are actually saying Nasdaq. So let's check out Nasdaq first. No, I mean BTC USD gave me some profits overnight. Oh, sharp, sharp, sharp. Happy man. Glad, glad, glad. And was it the same one? Was it the same strategy? Was it the same pure price action strategy that you used? Right? How's the strategy been working? Is the strategy working? Have you tested it? What's your view on our strategy? Does it work? I want to hear from you guys. Okay, so let's check out for Nasdaq. Let's check out for Nasdaq before we go off. Since you guys are saying we should check Nasdaq, I want us to actually do that. I want us to do that. I want us to do that. Let's check out Nasdaq before we go off, right? Let's check out Nasdaq before we go off. Okay, for Nasdaq, let's check out Nasdaq before we go off. I hope can you see my Nasdaq chart? I want to hear from you guys. Can you see my Nasdaq chart, please? Can you see my Nasdaq chart? US Tech. Can you see my Nasdaq chart? So looking at Nasdaq, we were expecting this mass buy because I was just so sure that buy was going to happen, and we're targeting 460. We're risking 100. That's 4 to 1 risk to reward. But what happened? Nasdaq opened, and bro didn't even come to our entry at all. This was our analysis last week Sunday. We had this analysis drawn up last week Sunday, but Nasdaq from this entry, from this market open, spiked 800 pips without coming to our entry. Nasdaq spiked 800 pips without coming to our entry. Nasdaq spiked 800 pips without coming to our entry. So this was our previous analysis on Nasdaq, which we did last week Sunday, but Nasdaq didn't reverse back to that level. But I'm still holding those levels strong because I know that those levels actually hold a lot of meaning, right? And I'm saying something, yeah, that marked the significant level when I set both buy stop and sell stop at those levels. The trend line hit my buy stop and gave a huge retest, almost hitting SL. I slept off and BTC went flying. Just keep practicing, guys. Just keep practicing. So for Nasdaq, what's basically happening right now on Nasdaq? Let's check the 4 hours time frame as usual, right? Nasdaq expect Nasdaq to create some kind of like corrections, guys. We'll be expecting Nasdaq to create some correction